Hey guys, welcome to Toy Chat. This is Max.
And Sing.
And we are going to be having a little bit of a discussion with you guys in today's video. So obviously if you saw the title of this video, Sang and I have been kind of quiet so far about the whole situation impacting YouTube with COPPA and the FTC, which, a lot of you are probably already aware of the situation. Maybe you're already very familiar with it because a lot of other YouTubers have already addressed it.
We're also in my room, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the whole stuff I just put up recently.
Part of the reason why Sang and I put off talking about it is because, when we first got the email about it, I don't remember exactly when it was a few months ago, we had very, very limited information. YouTube basically just sent out this vague email saying that there would be some changes coming in terms of expectations and regulations on YouTube content that is child appealing or directed at children. And obviously this does affect us because this is Toy Chat, and while I don't and we don't consider our content to be targeting, children, and actually a vast majority, if you look at our our stats and who actually follows us, a majority of our audience is not children. But, we do review toys and we review and talk about Playline toys, that kind of thing. So it's going to affect us. So we're going to talk to you guys about it in this video. By the way, if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I'm trying to cover all of our talking points and make sure I'm not getting any misinformation. It's not because, nothing bad, but just letting you guys know. Very first thing we want to say right off the bat is we're not ending our time on YouTube. We are going to continue producing content for you guys, and our goal and our aim is to continue producing content that most of, if not all of, our audience will still enjoy. You guys will probably have to expect some changes to come to our channel. They actually will not be that radical, nothing radical, because obviously a lot of what we discuss and talk about are adult collector, specific toys and collectibles. So another thing I want to say right off the bat is, the purpose of this video is we're not really gonna dive that deep into information and specifics of COPPA itself or what the FTC is, what COPPA is. I'm gonna give you guys a really brief overview. So if you guys do in general just want to learn more about, the in-depth details of what COPPA is, what everything about the act states and how it affects the law, and again, just a really thorough kind of breakdown and timeline of everything that it means. I'm going to redirect you to a few different videos from other big YouTubers. My Froggy Stuff did a really good video kind of discussing the whole situation. And Mommy's World as well did a good video on it, and formerly known as Mommy and Gracie Show. I will link those videos in the description if you guys want to check them out. So again, go there if you want detailed information on COPPA and the FTC itself, because we're not going to dive that deep into that here. So COPPA, by the way, if you don't know, it stands for the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, and it was a legal act that was put into place many years ago. I think at this point actually it's a decade more old. I'll put here how old it is, but that's one of the problems that a lot of content creators have with it is a lot of the specifics of the law are just really outdated in this digital age, and a lot of details of it are just really poorly defined. And creators like us, and YouTube itself, everyone's kind of scrambling and struggling to deal with what it means and how it's going to impact things. So basically, just to give a really concise overview, so COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, is basically a law that is in relation to an agreement that YouTube had to come to with the FTC, the US Federal Trade Commission, which basically their responsibility is to protect and look out for the consumers of America, to make sure that there's no shady wrongdoing, nothing like that going on. And a big part of the reason why it's impacting YouTube is because in this law, or a series of laws, however you want to describe it, it is illegal to data mine basically internet users of children who are under the age of 13, and that is the legal definition of children in the US is anyone under the age of 13. So basically what that means is, which by the way, all these changes are going to go into effect officially on January 1st, 2020. Once these changes do go into effect, basically all content on YouTube that is considered to be directed at or appealing to children specifically, there's going to be some changes to how that content appears on the platform, how it's promoted, and most specifically how the creators who upload it will be able to monetize it. So for one thing, that content you will not be able to get notifications from it. So you will not be, even if you have the the little notification bell selected on the channel you're subscribed to, you will not be notified if the video uploaded is an appealing to children one.
Right. Basically, what YouTube is doing, they're not regulating the user, they're regulating the content itself. So essentially, whether you are a minor, an adult, or anything in between, your viewing experience would remain the same per se. The content that you will be seeing will differ, will change. Essentially, things that YouTube deems is for kids or have kid content in them, they will not notify you that those contents are available. Also, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or not, those contents will not be notified for you. And then comments and just the viewership on these videos are just going to be completely gone.
Comments will be disabled completely.
Yeah, completely. What is a little upsetting is they're not monitoring the user and, like, hey, if you're a kid, these are the content you should be watching. They're just completely just stripping down those videos that they deem aimed for kids.
The thing that's really hurting a lot of content creators is the fact that these child appealing videos, or what YouTube deems to be the child appealing videos, will also now have severely limited monetization. So basically it means that those videos will be ineligible for targeted ads. So basically the ads that are catered to you based on machine learning.
So based on your previous viewership, like if you are, watching a lot of McDonald's content, then they might advertise McDonald's to you. And the unfortunate thing is how ads work is the longer you watch an ad and before you skip it, or you end up buying something off those ads, is what content creators make their money off of. So when generic ad plays and it's nothing geared towards you, like say you are an 18-year-old and they start advertising pills to combat baldness, generally speaking, won't apply to you, so you would more likely to skip it.
And those ads are going to be the only ads that are eligible for the child appealing content. And obviously, because they aren't targeted, advertisers consider those types of ads much less fiscally appealing, so of course they're not going to pay nearly as much money for them, which basically means that these content creators on YouTube are going to make way less money on those videos. And it's especially hard for career YouTubers, which, luckily, Sang and I do not fall into that category. I don't know what anyone's perception is, but we are not career YouTubers. To be completely transparent, our videos, obviously they are monetized, but every penny we've made in AdSense revenue, we've invested back into our channel. With new cameras, new sets, and obviously there's a lot of stuff we still want to improve and expand upon. And our channel has been growing. We broke 3,000 subscribers recently, which is super awesome. We're really happy about that and grateful to you guys. But yeah, this isn't our full-time job that we rely on for our income, but for a lot of people out there it is, and so you guys might see a lot of YouTubers making really tough decisions. It's they're either going to have to dramatically change their content, and there are a few content creators who regrettably, have just decided to leave the platform, or they're just I'm not going to do anything on YouTube anymore, which again, we are not doing that. We are going to continue to produce content, and it's a heavier impact on some more so than others. For example, if all you produce on your channel is children's cartoons or Playline reviews, if the only types of toys that you feature on your channel are Barbie Playline or Pick Me Pops or Baby Dolls or American Girl or something like that, or action figures directed specifically at children, you're going to be very heavily impacted. So, of course, one of the questions is, how is this going to impact us, like our channel, Toy Chat? So basically, what you guys can expect moving forward, especially as we get into January and all of this, you know, is going on, YouTube will basically force content creators to have, there's a little checkbox that says, was this video made for kids? If you check it and say, yes, it's made for kids, then all of those features that we mentioned will be stripped. You will not be able to have comments, so you can't engage with people, no notifications, and very limited monetization. While Sang and I don't rely on monetization like to do this, we want to be able to monetize our content because obviously, you know, it costs money to do what we do. And while it is true that we receive a lot of free product, you know, which is awesome and super cool, there's a lot of stuff that we have to fund ourselves. And, you know, we want to, you know, continue growing our channel. And while it's not the case right now, we would like at least the opportunity for, you know, even whether or not being full-time career YouTubers is in our future or not, we want that opportunity to be able to monetize our content because we spend money to make our content.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it's not even about the money, it's about the situation they put these videos in. If you can't comment or search these items, like we make content so you guys will know our opinions on these toys and you have a better idea of what you're getting into. So when these videos don't show up, or you bought this toy and then you saw our review and you're like, hey, I noticed about this thing, like I want to let you guys know, like blah blah blah, this and that, you can't do that. So we just want to make, we try to make content so you can make better, smart, you know, just choices in purchasing things. And when they don't let you, basically you can only view these videos if you are subscribed, or if, yeah, literally just if you're subscribed. Then people who are curious about these products, they don't have an opportunity to look at these and they can go out and buy something that they end up hating. And some of these stuff aren't cheap. Yeah,
like Sang said, it's just, if we were to upload nothing but child-friendly content and be impacted by all these changes for all of our content, yeah, we wouldn't be able to engage with you guys, and it just completely cuts off our conversation with you, the viewer, and we don't want that, obviously. So what that means, essentially, is that moving forward, heading into January, you're probably going to notice that our content is definitely going to make a little bit of a shift way more towards toys and collectibles that are specifically marked as for adult collectors. So basically, you know, it will have to state on the packaging, you know, for collectors ages 13 and up, 15 and up, 16 and up, whatever. Which granted, you know, for some of you, honestly, this might be good news, because if you're subscribed to us mainly for Integrity Toys, Disney limited edition dolls, Barbie signature, adult collector stuff, you know, we've been really interested in Hot Toys for a while, which are super high-end, pricey collectibles, and those are explicitly for adult collectors as well. I recently pre-ordered 2 dolls from Mizzy Doll that are very much for adult collectors. So, you know, there's still a lot for us to review. And a lot of it is, it's not really going to be that big of a change in our content because, you know, we produce a ton of Integrity Toys content and Disney, and yeah, there's certain Barbie products we will still be able to review and stuff like that. But yeah, it does probably mean that you're going to start seeing less of explicitly playline products like LOL Surprise, Hairdorables, you know, Barbie playline, stuff like that. Which I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. It's a bummer, it's frustrating. There are a ton of teenagers and adults and people well over the age of 13 who are, of course, you know, interested in toys. But I think because of all these changes coming, and also because you know, in addition to content creators having to check that box themselves, like, is your video made for kids when you upload, there is an algorithm that is already in place on YouTube that uses machine learning, where basically if you don't check that box, but the machine learning determines that your video is made for kids, it'll check the box for you. And so basically, you're subject to these restrictions one way or another.
And if you don't report that, if like for some reason the machine doesn't pick up on something that is aimed for kids and you don't report it, then you pay a heavy fine. So
yeah, and you know, we are, comparatively speaking, we're smaller YouTubers. Like, we don't have legal counsel, you know, we don't have people of contact that we can talk to about this. So at least for now, we're kind of gonna have to take the safe route. You may notice a few other changes on our channel as well. Like, my plan is to change our banner and maybe even like our channel icon, because we just want to make it clearer that And this is also just a statement that I'm making right now, that our target demographic for this channel is not children. We do not produce videos for children. You know, if you are a child and you find yourself here,
welcome.
You know, welcome, but this content is not made specifically for you.
Well, we do talk about pricing and a lot of little, you know, details of these toys that we purchase, and definitely those are not stuff that kids really are subjected to. Like, they don't need to worry too much about pricing because their parents buy it for them or whoever, or they're saving up for it. But yeah, I mean, kids, I mean, we don't cuss and we don't, you know, get drunk, and not that you.
I mean, maybe now we can.
Ultimately, we make content for everyone.
Yeah, we
but
do.
A lot of the stuff that we do review and access is things that are really expensive. And so it's definitely things that normally a kid, you know, wouldn't have the means to purchase on their own. Another
issue with this whole situation is, and kind of something that I want to bring forward, is that I am actually of the opinion that regardless of what kind of content you watch on YouTube, this is an issue that you should care about if you watch YouTube at all, because this encompasses a really broad spectrum of things, and in one way or another it's going to impact, honestly, thousands of creators, because you have to keep in mind it's not just toys that fall into this category. It's games, it's movies, it's crafting to a certain extent, because the way they described it initially was characters, themes, games, and toys, which that's a broad spectrum of things, you know, that appeal to children. You know, so that gets into territory of animated movies, of video games. And did you know how many like gaming channels there are on YouTube? You know, I mean, there's a ton of people where, you know, and Fortnite I know is specifically like, you know, a hugely popular game series that there are a lot of adult gamers who have YouTube channels that are centered around it, and their content is going to be impacted. You know, there was a video released by one YouTuber who said that these changes unfairly impact women and female creators, because there are a lot of female creators on the platform who do crafting videos and stuff like that, and some of these regulations unfairly impact, you know, art and crafting videos.
I mean, even like one of like the popular things that I like to watch is repainters who, you know, they take a Monster High doll or they take something that are aimed for kids because they're cheap, and they elevate the art and make it, you know, even more stunning. And now those content creators are leaving because, again, these dolls originated for kids, but they're making it something different. So even just like content that isn't about the same Monster High, but they use Monster High in the tag, or just the doll itself is suddenly now a kids content.
Yeah, and another reason that everyone should care about it, including the people that it's intended to protect, are, you know, if you're a parent and you have kids, these changes are not necessarily good news for you. Honestly, the fact that this is happening, in my opinion and in my theory, is going to cause a spike in content creators who are going to make the decision to kind of, you know, adult up their content for the sake of protecting themselves and their monetization. So basically, I personally think there's going to be an increase in videos that will feature adult content, cussing, you know, things that they basically think will make their channel come off as more adult. And also, because the children's videos are ineligible for targeted ads, your child could totally be using your iPad and they'll get an ad for a horror movie because, you know, they're just getting generic ads instead of the targeted ads, like as where they maybe would have gotten an LOL Surprise ad because they've been watching LOL Surprise videos. So I would definitely recommend, if you're not familiar with what this really means and the changes and kind of butterfly effect that this is going to have, you really should research, you know, like I said, check out those videos that I link in the description. And more importantly, if these changes are frustrating you as a viewer and you want to try to do something about it and make your voice heard, I'm also going to link in the description a petition that you can sign on change.org that has actually gotten a lot of signatures. It's gotten a lot of traction over the past several weeks. You can sign it yourself, you know, let your voice be heard, that you want COPPA, you know, lawmakers basically to more thoroughly explain what child-targeted content is, because right now, as COPPA stands, it's just really poorly defined, and it's unfairly impacting small creators, women, YouTubers who rely on YouTube as a source of income, you know, people like us, adult collectors, gamers, people who might review children's movies, animated movies, artists. It's a lot. It's gonna have more of an impact than you might think. So you can sign the petition, and I will also link a website where you can actually write to the FTC itself, and allegedly they read everything that they receive. So if you guys want to take action on that, I would highly encourage it. Check out the links in the description. So while these changes are really frustrating, the only constant on YouTube has been change. It's kind of as with many other things in life. If you happen to be a content creator yourself, if you have a smaller YouTube channel, I would really encourage you to reach out to other creators. Hopefully, you know, comments will not be disabled on this video, because this video we're clearly not talking to children here. But, you know, sound off in the comments if you want to have a discussion, if you have questions, we will answer them to the best of our ability. And once again, you know, like we said, you might see some little changes on our channel, but, you know, who knows? Someday this could change again, and we're not necessarily saying that you will never see Playline content, you know, again on our channel. You might. I would also encourage you to follow us both on Instagram if you want to see more toys in general. My Instagram is Hexcellence, and Sangs is Too Clawsome. Sang has been posting a lot more often recently. So you can follow us on Instagram if you want to see more, you know, from us. Nothing has happened on there yet, so I can still post photos and videos of Playline stuff on there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it is a very frustrating thing, as you know, as a viewer who like to watch these kind of stuff, as well as a content creator. In terms of our channel, a lot of our content will remain the same. It might just be a shift more towards stuff that you've seen a lot of on our channel, like integrity toys, Barbies. Yeah, I mean, those contents tend to perform well. Again,
the content is going to keep coming. We actually are backlogged on content right now. We have a lot of other videos filmed. We have stuff coming for you guys very soon. You know, if there's adult collector specific stuff that you guys would like to see from us, because we might be having to expand our repertoire at this point, you know, so I mean, if there are adult collector brands that you haven't seen us review on this channel that you think we might like, let us know. Sound off in the comments.
I think one of the things that's very frustrating is, as a toy reviewer and someone who are interested in these brands, it's very frustrating because like a lot of these adult collector items are very expensive. So for someone who is like us who are like a smaller, you know, content creator, we just don't have the funds to be able to buy all these really expensive stuff. Like, we tend to post a video every week. You know, it's gonna get really expensive, and then on top of that, there's not enough revenue coming in as well. So it sucks, and you as a viewer is less likely to purchase some of these stuff. It's frustrating. Even like Playlines, the reason some of our videos do so well is like with the newer stuff that comes out, people are interested in wondering, is this a good buy? Should I buy this? And then now those contents are gone. Like, if you're interested in like a new LOL surprise line or OMG, and then no one create content on YouTube for you to like, hey, this is what it looks like, I think this is great, no, you shouldn't buy this. Like, how are you supposed to be able to make a judgment in terms of like buying this or not?
That's the thing too, is there's a part of me that feels like these changes might end up impacting like the toy industry as a whole, because so many people learn about new toys through YouTube. Kind of the silver lining is that a lot of people are making their voices heard. The petition is getting a lot of traction, and also they're more clearly defined now than they were when this email first went out and everyone was just like, what does this mean? What do we have to do? You know, and then again, that's part of why Sang and I wanted to like hold off on talking about it. But basically, that pretty much concludes our discussion on the situation. You guys can definitely join the conversation in the comments. Let us know what you think. Also, if there's content that you'd like to see from us that isn't reviews, like if there's, you know, if you want to see more discussion videos or vlogs or stuff like that.
We made skits at one point.
We did, you know, we made a skit actually a while back, and it was really fun. So I don't know if there's like something we could do along those lines. Yeah, if you guys want to see more themed like comedy again, or discussions, or yeah, like vlogs of like smaller local conventions that we sometimes go to, let us know in the comments. Sang and I actually technically did film a series of discussion videos about Integrity Toys and like conventions past and stuff like that, which we might hopefully will put up eventually. But yeah, there's still a decent amount of content options for us, and let us know what you guys as the viewers want to continue to see. Check out those links in the description, take action if you feel you want to or need to, and we will see you next time. Bye.